In the heart of the city, people noticed him, but no one truly saw him. Every evening, at precisely 6:10, he would take his seat on the same weathered wooden bench, outside the old railway station, a small leather notebook resting in his hands. He never asked for money. He never raised his voice. He just watched as the world rushed by, a blur of faces late for trains, late for dreams, late for lives they no longer seemed to enjoy. His name was Elias Moore. To the passers-by, he was likely just another lonely old man, waiting for time to pass him by. But Elias wasn't killing time. He was collecting it. You see, years ago, Elias had been a clockmaker. He wasn't famous or wealthy, but he was precise, careful, infinitely patient. He held a deep belief that time wasn't something to be chased or beaten. It was something to be understood. But one rainy night, everything stopped. A car accident, a red light ignored. A single moment, moving far too fast. His wife, Clara, didn't survive. From that day forward, Elias despised clocks. The constant ticking felt like a mockery. He closed his shop, carefully boxed up every single ticking machine, and locked them away in the dark. But time, indifferent to his grief, didn't stop for him. It dragged him forward, slowly and painfully. So, he began a strange new ritual. Every time someone sat beside him on that bench, Elias would gently ask, "What moment do you wish you could live again?" Many laughed it off. Some ignored him completely, lost in their own worlds. Others simply got up and walked away. But some stayed. A tired nurse, her shoulders slumped with exhaustion, once whispered, "The last morning my father remembered my name." A young man, his eyes filled with a hollow regret, said, "The day I quit my dream because I was too scared to fail." A mother, tears tracing paths down her cheeks, confessed, "The afternoon I was too busy to hug my son." Elias wrote each and every answer in his little leather notebook. He called them the broken hours. Those precious moments people had dropped along the way, without ever realizing their true value. One cold winter evening, a teenage girl sat down next to him. She had headphones on, but her eyes were empty, and her hands trembled in her lap. Elias posed his usual question. At first, she said nothing, staring straight ahead. Then, in a voice barely louder than a whisper, she said, "Tomorrow. I wish I could just skip tomorrow." Elias closed his notebook. This was different. This wasn't a memory of the past. It was a fear of the future. He looked at her, his gaze soft and patient. "Tell me why," he said. She hesitated, but then the words poured out of her like a dam breaking. The crushing pressure, the suffocating expectations, the feeling of being completely invisible, the deep-seated belief that failing was her only real talent. She was convinced the world would keep spinning just fine, maybe even better, without her. Elias just listened. He didn't listen to formulate a reply or offer a solution. He listened simply to understand. When she finally fell silent, her story hanging in the cold night air, he opened his notebook again. But this time he didn't write a single word. Instead, he handed it to her. "Read the last page," he instructed gently. She took the notebook, her fingers tracing the worn leather. She turned to the very back. There, in shaky but deliberate handwriting, was a single sentence. "If time has broken you, it means you were brave enough to care." She looked up, her eyes wide. With surprise, a soft, kind smile touched Elias's lips. "You don't need to skip tomorrow," he said. "You only need to survive it." They sat there in silence as the station lights flickered on, casting long shadows across the platform. The next evening, Elias returned to his bench. The girl wasn't there. For the first time in a long time, a knot of fear tightened in his chest. Had he said the right thing? Had it been enough? A week passed. Then, a letter arrived at the station's lost and found office. The envelope was addressed simply, "For the man on the bench." Elias opened it with trembling hands. Inside, a short note read in E style. Not because the pain disappeared, but because someone finally listened. "Thank you for holding my broken hour." Elias sat down on his bench and cried. Not tears of sadness, but tears of overwhelming relief. His collection of broken hours had saved 1 month when people still rushed. Trains still departed on schedule. Time continued its relentless march. But Elias noticed a subtle change. More people began to sit beside him. More people shared their stories. And slowly, his notebook filled not with regret, but with a newfound awareness. The bench became a sanctuary for unspoken words. Then, one bright spring morning, Elias didn't show up. The bench was empty. His familiar presence was gone, but in its place, propped against the backrest, was a small, hand-carved wooden sign. It read, "If you're reading this, sit down. Listen to someone today. Time heals when shared." Elias Moore had finally stopped collecting broken hours, because in the end, he had found a way to give them all back to the people who needed them most. His work was done. The bench, however, was just getting started. Thank you for watching. If you ever feel like you're carrying a broken hour, please remember you're not alone. Reach out. Talk to someone. Your story matters. Please consider subscribing for more stories that remind us of the quiet power of human connection.